So welcome to the next session of the VIP Extra. So this is week 5. It's gone so quickly. 5 out of 8. I can't believe how quickly it's gone. The main thing now after doing module 3 is remembering always we are the gatekeepers to our mind. I talked about that in the very first session. When we remember we are the gatekeepers to our mind, we understand that part of medical intuition is to get from a separate mind, the monkey mind, duality, and all that sort of rah-rah that we play in the third dimension, to the one consciousness. If you look at the vision on the screen, the Millennium Modality symbol, which is the circle, the star, and the hearts, it is actually moving. It looks like it's going in and out of vortex. And that's what happens with our mind. And part of this is to understand, as I said, when I had my awakening, it was like, what the pajamas, I lost all of my mind to recreate my mind, to really understand. Well, one of the things is that, and we've been through this already, what's the worst thing that can happen? Oh, nothing. Nothing can happen. No worse thing can happen, because on third dimension, I have loads and loads and loads of lessons. And fourth dimension, I build a community. And fifth dimension, I get that mind freedom, the absolute mind freedom. And so there's nothing worse. And then we go on to the more that I make my life simple, the more abundant I am. And the simple part is understanding if I choose to consciously create my life, I choose to consciously learn and grow. All the new age thing that you did in module 3, it's like, what? Life's actually really easy. I'm just going to keep moving on. Stories and pain and loss can come up, but it's like, oh, yep, gone, yep, up, next, oh, yep, all patterns. And then it's going back, make the crystal grid underneath your bed, your massage table beside your bed, on the coffee table, wherever it is, to change the pattern to get you back aligned to the original blueprint pattern, which is pure love, pure love. Because what that does is it opens up, we've done all of these before, opens up that today offers a hidden gift. In fact, every day and every moment of the day offers a hidden gift if we're willing to search for it. So part of module 3 is to understand ego, the illusion of separation and duality. It's just an illusion, but by jingo, by crikey, by jongo, jingos, that third dimension thing, oh, what the? Duality? Crazy. Emotions, learning lessons, the illusion of emphasis on power, emphasis on recognition, relationship problems, personal power, authority stuff, self-control, transformation. Shall I go on about third dimension? But a lot of people will say, oh my God, once I get to fifth dimension, oh my God, everything will be so incredible. No. It's integration of the third, fourth, and fifth dimension all the time. So just like this little comic of, what are we? Egos. And what do we want? Problems. Why? To be victims. And are you enjoying it? Yeah. It's almost like a mantra that we have. And when you play this game, whether you're doing it for the first time or the 20th time, because you guys can repeat these as much as you want, that you go, wait a minute. I understand that there is duality and that I can get through this quicker and quicker and quicker, because it can only continue to hurt me if I hold on to it. I'll say it again. It can only continue to hurt me if I hold on to it. So I'm going to give you an example. Today, I shouted myself, blessed myself, I celebrated myself, whatever you want to call it, in having an osteopath session. I probably do it once or twice a year. I don't go for healings because I do most of the healing processes on myself. And my neck has been talking, and I'm like, yeah, I know the stuff, but I actually want to get support. What's the story? Sure, we can go back to module 2 of all the stuff in there of throat chakra, communication, expression of self, being heard in the world, speech, teeth, sinuses, jaw. Well, my teeth weren't playing up, but I had sinus stuff come up. Could be the power of a spoken word, creative expression, thyroid stuff. It could be tension, headaches at the back of the neck, ignorance, all the module 2 throat chakra stuff, or it could be third dimension stuff. And so when I surrendered to, and yesterday, the day before, I'm not sure, but I had a massage this week as well as the osteopath. And as I was lying on the massage table with the osteopath, and I love him to bits, he's so crystal and logical. He doesn't understand it to be energy work. He doesn't actually crunch anything or do anything. He just places his hand there, and I can feel all the movements in my body. It can only continue to hurt me if I hold on to it. My body was holding on to old stories and patterns again. And I went, what? And I suddenly felt my right eye swell up into like a black eye and really swollen, which is something that I experienced when I was a little girl from my dad. He beat the living pajamas out of mum and me, and I went to school with this eye, and it lied. And what it was, that throat chakra, all the memories, connective tissue, but was mainly in my neck and occiput area, were coming up of, hey, it's still hurting you on some level. And I went, what? But all the stories were being released from the bones, the core foundations or core belief systems of being hurt. And I could have sworn my face was as swollen as it was when I was a little girl. Like I had like a little slit in my right eye. And I thought, oh my gosh, I can't let, I call him Dr. Matt, Dr. Matt see. And I went, oh, there's my story. Wow, it's not the story of being beaten as a little girl. That's not the hurt. Oh, my fruit tingles, get out of town. Now, this is all going in my head. It can only continue to hurt me if I hold on to it. I had an apostrophe. What was hurting me was I never, ever, ever, ever saw that I never shared any of this. I was taught to actually just keep it quiet. Just keep going. Don't say anything. Just keep it quiet. And so quite often when I would look at other people, they'd get support, they'd get whatever. And I go, oh, I wish I had that. Wish I had that. And it was all because of one thing. And that one thing is that we are the heroes of our story. And what was happening was I forgot to be the hero of my story. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, every time I looked at everything that was happening in my life, I kept it secret and went, I'll just get on with it. I was actually taught to be embarrassed by doing well, by getting through things. And I went, that story in my occiput, my neck, what that? Third dimension, fourth dimension. Fourth dimension was Dr. Matt and I were just so aligned in the healing process. My body, I didn't have emotions come up. Sometimes that can happen. It was just twitching around. It was like I had restless leg syndrome, and I'd twitch and I'd jump on the table and was just mucking around and stuff. What? And then fifth dimension. So when we understand that we are the hero of our own story on this level, what happens is that we understand the next level of ascension. Now, what does that mean? Because when you do all the patterning in the chakras and the grid and back to the basics of story and tap and breathe, you go to the next level of seeing the words. See the words differently. Just randomly look at a line. Which line jumps out at you? The first one I saw was slot machines, cash lost in me. What's happening? What's actually going on? What is going on? Wait a minute. If I'm the gatekeeper to my mind, I suddenly realize that my work is to discover my work, and then I'll have my heart's desires. But it wasn't so much work as in go to nursing, go to pathology, go to autopsies. If I'm going to be the hero of my own story, my work is to discover me and how I work. Some of you have just done medical astrology with me online, so you've learned more about yourself. Some have done Millennium Children, you know, the personality typing, but really all of this. Some of you are like a personality type on medical intuitive card course earlier in the year. I described that you can actually be, your face can look like a body shape. Some people are the body or the body consciousness, such as gallbladder people. Hi, sure, I'll do that, and then they get really resentful. Or some are really livid and they're just angry the whole time. A bit like a client that I spoke to today. So if I'm going to be the gatekeeper of my mind, I'm going to be the hero of my own story, and my work is to discover my work or who I am and how I work, then what? Then what happens? Then we go back to being children. We go back to remembering. We go back to knowing anything is possible because imagination leads to reality. For it's not imagination. It's that quantum soup and what we attract to us in experiences, things, situations, exactly what is our reality or our perception. Just like when we first started this program, it was all about perception. So I'll give you an example. If I'm the hero of my own story, so that you know how this still works today. My oldest son and my husband love using my NutriBlot to make chocolate milkshakes. Well, I don't like milk and I don't like the chocolate. And what I was finding was when I'd make my smoothies, I could smell the milk. It was like it had penetrated the plastic cup. I said, I don't know what to do. And I'd ask them, please, can you just not have milk? Can you go and buy the milk, or can you do it another way? That was being the hero of my own story. I shared my pain. I asked for help, something that I didn't do when I was younger. And then my imaginer led to reality. I went, what if I should get another NutriBullet? Well, gorgeous soul said, I'm cleaning out my house. Do you want this? My own swishy NutriBullet. It's not a NutriBullet, but it's small, it's white, it's sexy and petite, and it's just for me. Imagination leads to reality. Today, I said to someone, I've got leftover brand new carpet. I got carpet in my office. Would you like it? Otherwise, the Salvation Army come and pick it up tomorrow. Yes, please. Imagination leads to reality. What happens is you think it, you get it. You know that it will always work out. You do this all the time. You've just forgotten. How have you forgotten? Because you're not looking for it. And as I had the awakening, which is what you did on the module 3 aspect, and seeing the duality, seeing the third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, I started to see the patterning. I started to see the loss, the pain, but I also saw how I could create my world, what I needed to do, who I needed to contact. Imagination leads to reality. So, look at children. They imagine being Superman, or they imagine being a pilot, or they imagine being a mummy, or whatever they imagine. And it is their reality. If I do that too, and I do it in third dimension, and then I have affirmations such as, it always works out, I am a money magnet, my time, my turn, I'm a philanthropist, then my reality is my reality. I wonder. And so I started to get curious and go into wonder, or wonderment as I call it. And as my life changed, it opened up another door. And the other door was all about understanding, share. So I was getting messages, Jane, you must share this. And I'm thinking, yeah, like fudgicles. Who's going to listen to this waffly goo-goo? Right, no problems. And how do I help them? What, make their brain scrambled eggs? Which some of you have been through. And then I got, a man's wealth is not, oops, just go back. A man's wealth is not secure until he is actively giving another person opportunity to build their wealth. What? That doesn't even make sense. What? What does that mean? A man's wealth is not secure until she actively gives other men opportunity to build their wealth. Okay, I'm going nanas here. What does that mean? Wealth. What have I got to give? And what I had to give was love. And that's what you opened up the door to. Just like when I read at the beginning of Module 3, love. Absolute empowerment and absolute love. We forget that we are everything, always. We forget, and we define ourselves. We separate ourselves. And yet when you allow yourself to be the wealth and show your love, and the wealth isn't money, is be the love, show the love, share the love. It's being the example of what's possible so everybody else can do it as well. And the best way to feel wealthy is to actually offer it to other people. Where am I going with this? You doing this as a practitioner for other people actually allows them to build their wealth. And then they build their wealth and do it to someone else because they're happy, and they give it to their family or their friends or co-workers or business clients or whoever. A man's wealth is not secure. And that's the biggest learning lesson I had in the physical earth world, especially as I opened up the business. A man's wealth is not secure until I give others opportunity to see themselves, love themselves. When I grasped this story, it was the fifth dimension. Dreams become reality, the golden age reality. It was the golden chalice, or everything that the religions and wars and everything have been after. And I went, what? Why can't they see it? Why do they play the third dimension? Got to have it, got to own it. It's within their heart. And yet children do this all the time. Hey, do you want to come play Lego? I don't even know your name. I don't know how old you are. We're at the park. Do you want to go on the swings? A man's wealth is not secure until he actively gives other men opportunity to build their wealth. And yet we forget. And all of these lessons, just like in the Quran, the Bible, Book of Enoch, Course of Miracles, all of them talk about the same concept. Desire is pure potentiality seeking manifestation. That there's this desire which is held in your heart, something within you wants to blossom and shine. And that's where we get frustrated on the third dimension. Why didn't I write that book yet? That was me. I'd been asked to write about the Millennium Children for years and years and years. As a little girl, I used to love making little books. So I'd draw pictures and then get the stapler and make a little book up. Something inside, I just want to bring it into physical form. And we forget we are the physical form. We don't have to do anything. But we express it in the human third dimension by books, webinars, posters, making chocolate cake, cleaning a house, nursing, whatever it is, teaching Pilates, combing your hair, mowing the lawns, all the basic things. But we forget. And then they get involved with that third dimension and call ourselves a loser and nothing ever happens. And yet it's so important to have the dreams. Because without the dreams, we don't speak the language of love. And grown-ups forget to dream. So part of Module 3 is awakening back to the dreams. Waking back to what was fun. Dream big. Dream small. And I don't mean make yourself small. Dream small might be, I love being at home for wintertime and having the fireplace on. That's small, meaning I just want to bring it into me. For everything is there for us. It's one big fat quantum soup. What do you want? And this is the integration of third, fourth, and fifth dimension. And then the next part is to experience it. Not intellectualize it, but experience it. Einstein actually said this. Experience is knowledge. The rest is just information. Now, supposedly Einstein's the smartest man that's ever lived on the world. And yet he's saying he understood things. It was information. But really, it's experience that's the most important thing. This is like the gatekeeper to our mind. We forget that the real doctorate, master's degree, diploma, certification is actually the experience of you. It's the journey of enjoying the journey rather than getting the outcome. Enjoy that journey, whatever the journey is. For when you get that thing, will it make you happy? Probably not. But did you have fun doing it? That experience of raising children, the experience of breaking up in a relationship, the experience of buying a car, the experience of, they're the knowledge. And this is the feminine. The masculine way is to just have the information and intellect. For example, I'm a male psychiatrist specializing in women getting raped. Well, how would I know? I've read it from a book. I've got all the texts. I've got my doctorate in it. But I really don't have the knowledge. And you'll hear the Millennium Children say it. But I know. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know. And I do know that. They have experienced it and they do remember. And part of the awakening, third, fourth, fifth dimension is understanding to look back at your experiences, knowing that you do have the knowledge. That is the genius. That is number 13 on the grid. To be the genius is to know that you do know. What do you know? Heaps. Do you have a certification in it? No. Do you need to? No, not at all. Because we are the hero of our story. So I'm going to get you to take a big breath. Breathe all the way out. And take another big breath in. And breathe all the way out again. Because you've had such a big weekend, and it will still be processing. This evening's webinar will be a shorter one. That way, you can just rest. Make yourselves a grid to embrace winter. Something I teach in the Millennium Calendar course. Welcome the winter time. Winter, new beginnings. A time to get into the chrysalis and allow the transformations to occur. A time for you to clean the slate. Allow yourself to be the new form. As you finish up in Module 4 in June, gives you an opportunity to go, right, new beginning, new beginning. Remember to apply all of your tools from Module 1, 2, and 3, or any of the modules that you've done. Millennium Children, Medical Intuitive Cards, Ascension Chakra, whatever course it is, grid, calendar. Allow yourself some space and time this week to breathe, to go to nature, to just really integrate. To integrate is take one thing and apply it. Even if it's one of the new age aspects, such as just taking, I choose to grow. I choose to grow. So again, taking another big breath in, breathe all the way out. Just be aware of wheat, sugar, dairy this week because it will aggravate the ascension process that you have been through. Connect up with one of your buddies from the group, or try another buddy. Leave a message and do swaps if you want to, just like Rochelle and Bonnie do. Or just allow yourself to enjoy the crystal grid and soak it up and sleep with it. Or go back to just the basic module 2 grid, pop it underneath your bed. So on that note, I'm going to ask if there's any questions. I'll just go through your names. And if there's nothing that you've got, we'll just say pass. Some of you are doing a lot of work with me at the moment, so that's why we're just making this one a little bit shorter than normal. So Bonnie, any questions?
No questions tonight, Jean.
Thank you, darling. Katrina.
Thank you, Jane. I pass.
Thank you, darling. Leilani.
No questions.
Thank you, darling. Melissa?
I was just thinking with the man's wealth
Yes.
isn't secure unless he shares it with others or helps other people.
Yes.
It's like the security is the love. Is that
Yes.
what you mean? Yeah.
Yes, yes. And yet we have this third dimension of false security of if I've got millions in the bank, and with the gluten-free financial crisis the other year, whatever, same thing, or even the COVID-19 stuff, people have gone into the illusion of, my wealth is gone, security's gone. No, because if we understood it's always going to work out, then we have that supposed security. And then this is also applicable to being in business. All of you, I do hope that you go out and do work as a practitioner, not just self-development. One, you know what it's like, but all these other people that are feeling lost and beside themselves need that support. So I've offered you wealth. Will you offer them wealth as well? Does that answer it?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions? No? Natalie?
No questions from me. Thanks, Jane.
Thank you, darling. Rochelle?
No questions, Jean. Thank you.
Thanks, darling. And Sam?
And no questions for me either, thank you.
Beautiful. Ladies, allow yourself just to integrate module 3 and allow this weekend, if you can, just to enjoy embracing life and enjoy just the cells, the DNA, everything, ascension DNA, Kundalini signs and symptoms, just to percolate and rest. You've done amazing, and I really am so grateful that you took the journey online. For me, it was exactly the same. I just miss giving you guys a hug more than anything, but thank you.